to the World's Fair of Money. My name is Kim Kick. I'm your Executive Director of the American Numismatic Association. Welcome to the 2022 World's Fair of Money. Woo! We are excited to once again be together, a community of kindred spirits back in a city where the ANA was founded 131 years ago. I know everyone will find something this week that piques their interest. With hundreds of dealers selling their wares, the sold-out Bourse floor will be a hub of activity, so take time to visit tables and engage in conversation. The star attraction at this year's World's Fair of Money is the exhibit of treasures from the recovered SS Central America, also known as the Ship of Gold. Artifacts from the recovered vessel provide a snapshot of American life during the California Gold Rush. The ship, which sank in 1857 off the coast of South Carolina in a hurricane, was laden with tons of gold valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. The always popular museum showcase is filled with rarities too, including the 1804 dollar, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, each of which is insured for millions. You'll also be able to see the earliest pattern for a circling U.S. coin, the Fujio trial cent, struck in 1787. The first U.S. dime struck in 1796 and 1797, and so much more. And whether you're a novice collector or have been in the hobby for many years, the World's Fair of Money provides the best educational offerings in numismatics. Between the Maynard Sunderman Littleton Coin Company lecture series on Wednesday and the Money Talks presentations on Thursday and Friday, the ANA continues to focus on helping collectors become more knowledgeable numismatists. So soak up the week and enjoy. At this time, I'd like to introduce ANA President Dr. Ralph Ross.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Kim, and welcome to Chicago. We're so pleased to be returning to this hospital village of Rosemont and the Donald E. Stevenson Convention Center, both of which have hosted our organization on so many great occasions. It is the perfect environment for hobby fellowship and camaraderie. Kim touched briefly on the Ship of Gold display, an exhibit we've excited to bring to the World's Fair of Money. After a century and a half on the ocean floor and decades in storage, dozens of historic treasures from the 1857 sinking of the fabled Ship of Gold are on display. Jointly hosted by the California Gold Marketing Group and the Halliburton Western Americana Collections. Attendees this week will see amazing examples of gold coins and bars retrieved from the bottom of the ocean. Also, I might note, a pair of jeans possibly made by Levi Strauss. That's about 157 years ago. Even the submarine robotic vessel that helped locate the remains of the ship 7,200 feet below the surface of the Atlantic. And you're sure to get your history fixed by visiting the collector exhibit area, which is filled with a record 50 fascinating displays assembled by ANA members. Convention attendees have numerous opportunities to learn something new at the show. The free Money Talks presentation, for instance, will enlighten newbies and experienced hobbyists alike with topics ranging from good luck pieces and magic amulets to trends that are shaping coin collecting and the market in 2022. And 4 engaging speakers at Wendy's Maynard Sudden lecture series will present on the topic of numismatic art through the ages. One of the ANA's goals is to find ways to engage the public in rewards of numismatics. Partnership at all levels will be critical to bringing more people into the hobby. That is why I'm especially pleased that we have the United States Mint at this week's show, and I'm delighted too that newly appointed U.S. Mint Director Ventress Gibson has joined us at these opening ceremonies. But before introducing our special guests, I'd like to recognize my board. If you're a current ANA board member, please raise your hand so that we may recognize you. Will all current ANA board members please raise your hand so we can recognize you? Would all current ANA officers, past president and governors, please raise their hands so we can recognize you as well. We thank you for your service to the ANA. You know it takes a lot to put these shows on and a lot to get this organization underway, and these are the people who are the backbone. Thank you very much. And now it is with my great pleasure to welcome United States Mint Director Ventris Gibson. Director Gibson is the 40th director of our nation's Coin Bureau and the only 7th woman and the first woman of color to fill this Mint's director's post. She has more than 4 decades of public service that started with an enlistment in the United States Navy right after high school. Prior to her Mint assignment, she has served as director for Washington, D.C.'s Department of Human Services, overseeing nearly 37,000 employees. She's also held leadership roles with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the Department of Veterans Affairs. Please join me in welcoming U.S. Mint Director Ventris Gibson. Please. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As my mom would say, in a vase of appreciation filled with roses of gratitude, thank you, Dr. Ross, ANA, and you, our numismatic community, who the U.S. Mint loves tremendously. And I'm going to be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. Is that all right? Yeah. So as the 40th Director of the United States Mint, it is my honor to serve. And that is what we are about at the Mint through the 1,700 employees that bring design to the beautiful, precious metals that we do, from the bullion, circulating, and the numismatic. I tell you what an exciting job. And what an exciting hobby and passion, is that right? Well, I tell you, the next thing I'm going to say, I can tell you all about all the products, but come to our booth, 1925. And thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for all you do to make a difference in the Mint's life, but you know what? To our American people, because we truly are part of a great nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director Gibson. The American Numismatic Association is appreciative of the continued partnership that we have with the United States Mint and are grateful that you could join us today. The World's Fair money would not be possible without the generous support of sponsors and patrons. And to you, I'd like to say thank you. A show of this magnitude always depends greatly on the help of our volunteers. Would all local, regional, and national volunteers please raise their hands, please? We thank you for your service to the ANA. At this time, I'd like to recognize the convention committee from our host coin club, the Chicago Coin Club, whose service-oriented members are committed to helping you have a great show. Steve Jatowski, host chair, Paul Hybert, honorary host chair, Dave Lukinich, assistant host chair, Mark Rickard and Paul Hybert, collector exhibits, Mark Whitecloth, Rich Lipman and Bob Feiler, Money Talks, Jim Ray, YN Workshops, Scott McGowan, Greg Jaca, and Jim Emlings, ambassadors. John Riley and John Kent, pages, and Lyle Daly, president of the Chicago Coin Club. This year's Goodfellow Award is presented to the show's host chairman in recognition of the many hours devoted to assisting the ANA staff with the convention. I'd like to ask Steve Jatowski to step forward to receive the award. Did I say Jatowski?
Not necessarily.
On behalf of the American Numismatic Association, I'd like to present to you the Goodfellows Award to Steve Jatowski for the American Numismatic Association for outstanding service and advancement of good fellowship, Chicago, Illinois, 2022. And thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Dr. Ross.
Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. I want to say thank you to all of you for coming to the 131st ANA Annual Convention. This is the 19th time, I believe, that the ANA has met in Chicago, and I believe that's how many times the Chicago Coin Club has been the host club. We're thrilled and honored that all of you could come here this week, today. Be sure you spend money on the Bourse floor. Be sure you spend money on the local economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I noticed he said something about everybody, please enjoy yourself and spend money in the Chicago area, Rosemont area, and enjoy yourself here at the ANA's 131st Anniversary Convention Show. All right. I'd also like to recognize the honorary host chairman, Paul Hybert. Paul, would you please come forward, please? The Board of Governors of the American Numismatic Association presents the certificate to Paul L. Hybert, Honorary General Chairman, for dedicated services rendered to his fellow numismatists and friends during the ANA's World's Fair of Money, Chicago, Illinois, 2022. Thank you, Paul. Would you like to say a few words?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, if I may, I'd like to call Steve Zatowski back to the stand, please. Next, I'd like to present the Lewis S. Wardner Memorial Host Club Award for the Chicago's Coin Club for its tremendous support as our host club. Many of you might not recognize Chicago Coin Club holds the distinct of being one of the oldest ANA member clubs and is celebrating its 103rd anniversary this year. The club was originally known as ANA Branch Number 1, but then recognized in 1919 as the Chicago Coin Club.
Correct.
Steve, I want to thank you very much for all that you do. This club has hosted 9 ANA conventions, a number unmatched by any other numismatic organization. I am proud to present our show chair and Chicago Coin Club with the Lewis S. Wardner Memorial Host Club Award with our deep appreciation. Steve, it is my honor to present to the Chicago Coin Club. This is a symbol of appreciation for dedicated services rendered by the club members who gave their devoted time and talent so graciously to entertain their fellow numismatists and friends during the American Numismatic Association's World's Fair of Money, Chicago, Illinois, August 16 to 20, 2022. Thank you for all that you do and all your club members. I see those guys in red shirts. If you see a guy in red shirt, tell them thank you. And now what we've all been waiting for. I know one of the governors had brought to my attention that someone let the gate open and several people were going into the show. But at this time, I'd like to invite ANA Executive Director Kim Kick and the Board of Governors to officially cut the ribbon to open the 2022 World's Fair of Money. Can I get all the dignitaries to come forward, please, and we'll cut the ribbon.